Hey everyone, today we are going to make some money. Now, once this video goes live and people start using these methods, they might not be as lucrative as they currently are. So just remember all of these tips for future leagues and you will be off to a much better start than anyone who doesn't use these tips. Now, how would you like to see a magic trick? I am going to hopefully turn some level 18 gems into, I don't know, maybe 4 divines. So level 18 gems, half an exalt apiece, perfect jeweler's orbs. I think these are what, like 13 exalts apiece? So what I'm gonna do, we will socket these, and then we will quality all of them up. So I now have 30 twisters, with all sockets and 20% quality. From here, what we can do, we can corrupt these. Activate the omens, take out the vol orbs. We are looking for +1 level. -1, okay, we missed a 50-50, -1 again, we're getting unlucky. Actually though, 3 -1s, +1, that's 1 divine. If we could get a little lucky, oh look, another divine. Take out the vol orbs, -1, I think we're getting a little unlucky. Oh, another divine. Level 18. Come on, give me 2 more level 19s. There's one. And we can just sell anything that didn't hit. And from here, we can upgrade these to level 20. So we equip the gem, Twister, level 18 to level 20. Look at that. Level 21 Twisters. So I'll upgrade all of these real quick. And out of those 30 skill gems, we got 4 that hit +1 level. And if we take a look at the currency exchange, we can see a level 21 Twister, for example, with 20 quality and 5 sockets, 900 exalts. So 3 orbs of annulment, there's only 2 on the market. And then they go to 4 annuls. If we look at my history, Twister sold 1100 exalts, 1100, 1100. So total cost, we're talking less than 600 exalts, and I just turned these into over 4,000. Do this with any skill gem that is currently useful. Twister, Spark, Lightning Arrow, etc. So the next tip, when you purchase anything, if you don't absolutely need it right away, buy it for less than what it costs to instantly purchase it. For example, these level 20 skill gems, if you have them, you can sell them instantly for 51 exalts. However, if you try to insta-purchase them, they go up to 93. So those 4 twisters I just upgraded, I can insta-purchase these gems for 360 exalts, or I could pay 55 exalts for each, save 140 exalts, and still be the #1 listing on the market. And this is something you want to do for everything you purchase off of the currency exchange, and you will save so much. It adds up. Never insta-purchase something unless you absolutely have to. So the next magic trick, I want Delirium, Liquid Despair. They insta-purchase for 11, and if we go up to Liquid Fear, now they're 50 exalts. Reforging bench. So I paid 10 exalts for each of these. So 10, 20, 30 exalts. I just made 20 exalts. Oh look, I just made another 20 exalts. And again, that's pretty cool. And just like that, I paid 300 exalts, and I just turned them into 500 exalts. Currency exchange, and look at that, my gems purchased. How long did that take? 20 seconds, and the time it took me to reforge those distilled emotions? And I just saved 140 exalts right before your very eyes? Let's see, I want exalts. I have these. They insta-sell for 42. Profit, 120 exalts. I think I'll slow sell these. So maybe 450 exalts? I want to sell 10 of them. We'll just let those slow sell. So in the past 4 minutes, from my twisters and the example selling these, look how fast they sell. I've already made, I don't know, 3 divines, 3,000 exalts profit, more, 3,500 exalts profit. We'll turn these into level 20 skill gems as well. Save these for later. Now, the next moneymaker, I made an entire video about this. We can see all of these people wants to sell normal white heavy belts, 18 for 3 divines. These are bots. So what you could do instead if we look heavy belts, we want normal, minimum level, I don't know, 50. We can buy heavy belts for 25, about 30 exalts a piece. So if we can get a full inventory of these belts, 30 belts, for 1 divine, about 900 exalts, we can sell these in trade chat for 2 divines, and we can completely undercut the market, and people do purchase these. Again, I made an entire video going over this, so if you put in the time making 30 separate trades, people will pay a premium. They will pay a little bit more to get all 30 belts in one trade instantly. So the next thing you need to know involves a little bit of mapping, and this isn't guaranteed. So if you come across any untainted paradise maps or castaway maps, you can sell those maps for an annul, maybe even a divine. Untainted paradise, people will pay about an annul, maybe a divine for that XP. However, the castaway map that has 600, 700% increased gold, those go for 1 divine. So if you get a castaway, sell it for 1 divine, 5 spots, and you just made 5 divines selling a map that you were going to run anyways. So the next tip, also involving the currency exchange. Now what we can do, I have Exalts and I want to purchase something expensive. Let's look at soul cores. 3% increased maximum life. No stock. We can see if you have one of these soul cores, the top offer, 4,241 exalts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with 4,300 exalts. I want my offer to be at the very top. This only costs 850 gold. I'm just gonna let that sit, because when this order sells, when I have one of these, if I sell this for a divine, it insta sells for 6 divines, and a divine is 935 exalts. 935 times 6, that is a profit of 1,300 exalts. However, if I get 2 of these and I sell them for 6.5 divines each, that would be 935 times 13 divines, and that would be 12,000 exalts minus the input cost of 8,600, and now we've made almost 2,000 exalts off of each of these. Now, of course, this is not an infinite money glitch. I have divines, and we can see 4,300 exalts, that would be 500,000, which is why we want to sell things for exalts, because we can then turn those exalts into divines. We are double dipping. That is why if I go to my shop, I am selling twisters for exalts, because if I sell these 4 twisters for 4,400 exalts, I can turn those 4,400 exalts into over 6 divines. Yeah. Our money is making us money, and then that money is making us even more money, like actually. When this video goes live and everyone tries this, this might not work super well. Give it a week, and it will. And again, you can do this with anything that is a couple divines. Just play the market. There are so many items. So the next tip, I don't have any good examples, but if we look at Calandra's Touch, search 20 annulments, what we could do is we can purchase items for annuls and sell them for divines. This is a bad example, but if you can find an item with margins wide enough that you can purchase something for, say, 15 annuls and sell for 10 divines, you can just keep flipping unique items. If we look at my shop, I did this for so long. Look at all of these sales, and there's so many more that aren't being recorded anymore. So what I would do is I would purchase the Calandra's Touch for like 20 annuls, and at the time they were going for 12 divines, and in like one day I made 50 divines profit just by buying from people who are undercutting the market in annuls, and then I would sell and undercut the market in divines, and it was actually an infinite money glitch. The margins now don't work out. You cannot do this with Calandra's Touch currently, but maybe you could do this with Headhunters, or maybe you could do this with Hearts of the Well. Because Exalted Orbs are so expensive in terms of gold, Something else we could do is we can purchase items for Orbs of Annulment and then sell them for Exalts. Prime example, Twisters. At the start of the video, you saw that there were a couple Twisters listed for 3 Annuls each, which comes to about 900 Exalts. So what we can do is we can purchase items for Orbs of Annulment and then sell them for Exalts. So I can turn my Annuls into Exalts for free, minus the cost to purchase the item, you know, a couple thousand gold. And then I can use those Exalts to purchase something that can sell for multiple divines more than what it costs to purchase an Exalts. The next tip involves a little bit of RNG, a little bit of crafting. I don't highly recommend this, but it is an option. So I'll show you an example. So what I can do is I can search for a spear, for example, with adds physical damage and percent increased physical damage, 155% minimum, because that is the lowest that tier 2 increased physical damage can roll, with 2 prefix modifiers max. We can search, and we have a bunch of spears listed for a chaos, 35 exalts, 50 exalts. They do go up fairly quickly. We can purchase a spear like this. Now this is not guaranteed to hit. It is not guaranteed to work, but if it works, it could be multiple divines profit. So we have our spear. I will desecrate the prefix. I need some omens of abyssal echoes. Yes! I just increased this to 4,400 because someone outbid me. I just reset that offer. Now we can see I want divines. I have, it insta sells for 6. I'm gonna wait until I have 2, so I can sell 2 for 13 divines. So we have this spear. Again, this is not guaranteed to work. I need my omens of abyssal echoes. We will activate these. So I'm hoping for hybrid fizz, maybe high added elemental damage of some sort. Let's see if we can hit fire. We could settle. I'm gonna reroll. Oh, it's dead. That's unfortunate. Again, this was just an example, but I will show you how to continue the craft. Now, total cost, this was 100 exalts, just because we wanted that reroll with the omen of abyssal echoes. But if we were to continue this craft, if we had gotten hybrid fizz and accuracy, for example, what we would do, we would quality it up, we would add a socket, we would add increased physical damage, and then we go to the ritual tab, omen of dextral crystallization, remove only suffix modifiers, go to the essence tab, and then we could guarantee onslaught. So we would use one of these, it would remove a suffix mod, and then we would use an essence of battle to guarantee +4 attack skills. If the +4 level removes onslaught, then you just have to hit it with another perfect essence of haste. And we can see, I did this yesterday, I tested this. So if we go to history, I sold this Onslaught Edge Stalking Spear for 4 divines. I bought this for 30 exalts. It had tier 2 increased physical damage and tier 2 adds physical damage. And then I desecrated it for the percent fizz hybrid. I added some quality, I added a rune, and then I guaranteed the +4 level to attack skills, and I guaranteed the chance to gain onslaught. The total cost was 300, maybe 400 exalts, and it sold within a couple hours for 4 divines. So the next tip is, now this is something I covered when I was voling Alpha's Howls. So we can see Alpha's Howl with 2 sockets goes for 1 annulment, and there's a couple listed on the market, might not insta-sell. If we search for exalted orbs only, 550 exalts, that's a little overpriced, but we can see for exalted orbs, you can buy these for 55, 60 exalts, and then you use an Omen of Corruption with a Vol Orb. You have a 1 in 3 chance to get 2 sockets. So when I did it, it was very profitable. Right now, it's not super profitable. There is a 1 in 3 chance to hit 2 sockets. If you can sell it for an annul, you'd probably just barely break even. Of course, if you get plus spirit, on the enchant, you could make a lot of currency doing it. I don't recommend this. I'm just using this as an example. So the reason I'm mentioning this again is because what we can do is we can go to Filter Blade. We can search for uniques, and we can see the armored cap. This is the Alphys Howl. Price, it's a little off, but it says 40 Exalts. You can search the S tier uniques and the A tier uniques, and you can just search for anything that you can purchase for Exalts that if it gets an extra socket, maybe it sells for a couple of nulls, like the Alphys Howl when I made that video a week back, 2 weeks back. So you can use this and you can just see if there is anything profitable that you can corrupt that isn't like super expensive. And the final tip, this is not going to make you big money this league, but what you can do in a future league, you can buy Scrolls of Wisdom, Control Shift click, and you buy 40 at a time for 1,000 gold. You can go to the currency exchange. I want Exalts. I have Scrolls of Wisdom. You can sell 70 scrolls for 1 Exalt. So right now Divines are over 900 Exalts apiece, so this probably not super worth it. But earlier in the league, when Divines are 200 or 300 Exalts, this is an absolutely incredible way to get a couple hundred Exalts, maybe even a couple Divines together to get your build going. And with that, I think I made 5 or 6 Divines profit just making the video, just showing you these money makers. I think that is going to be just about it for today. As always, everyone, take care.